Hello everyone, it's been a good couple months since the last episode and I thought I would just give you an update on why it's been this way, why there have been no videos for the last couple of months, and what I've been up to all this time. Maybe you'll find some of this interesting, maybe you'll want to get involved in some of these projects. So here we go, just without further ado, let's talk about it. So first and foremost, this is a project that we started, well, it wasn't actually started by me, I joined and just took over some of the tasks. It's Smithy it's a Scala library slash SBT plugin with a code generator in it that helps you build applications, mostly with HTTP clients and servers, as well as other things. So I've been involved in fixing some bugs in that, making some usability changes, and in general I want to have a series of videos on this channel about it. But for now I can just recommend that you go to the website if you're interested. It's really something very nice to use, and I believe more people should be using it. So yeah, check it out. It's like my top thing to focus on for the last couple of months. Absolutely, and the work on Smithy has been there has been so much work put into it. There's an entire team in Disney Streaming working on it. There are teams in other companies working on it, and yeah, I'm working on it even now that I've left Disney Streaming, which is, by the way, some news. I'm currently between jobs. I'll be starting a contracting job next week, and yeah, that'll be fun. Hopefully it won't impact my ability to make these videos even more. But yeah, back to the things that I'm doing. Smithy is one of them. That's on the library side, but also I'm building something that uses Smithy underneath to give you some useful tool, and it's Smithy Playground. So Smithy is an interface definition language. You can define your APIs in it, and it's sort of like a GraphQL schema, right? But you still need to somehow maybe query these services. You want to call them, and in HTTP world or like REST world, we have Swagger for this. In GraphQL, you have a GraphQL query for that purpose. Of course, yeah, you can use queries for like demonstration purposes, and also you use GraphQL queries to make actual queries in production. But for REST, Swagger is just like a toy thing. You wouldn't use that in production. You would use that to talk to some APIs just for some demos. So yeah, but Swagger is a way of querying a service that uses REST, and there's also Postman, which does basically the same thing. And for GraphQL, you have GraphQL clients and GraphQL Playground, GraphQL, this kind of thing. But we are missing this sort of piece in the ecosystem of Smithy, and I thought I would give it a try to build something like that, because I thought this is a different interface definition language. It's not GraphQL or anything like that. It deserves its own query language. So this is what I'm building. So Smithy Playground includes SmithyQL, which is a language of my design that lets you query services written in Smithy, like written according to Smithy specs. And yeah, I've been doing quite a lot of that on that front. I've been working on Playground since December last year, so almost a year now. And yeah, recently I've gotten involved into a huge project in which I'm basically like multiplying the abilities of the language by 1,000. Like, just instead of a single query per file, you can now do, like, that's what it's going to be. You'll be able to query, like make any number of queries in a single file, basically this kind of thing. And also enhancing the language in different ways, fixing the formatter parser, many bugs and missing features in all of these areas. So yeah, I would appreciate some help. So if anyone wants to get involved in an open source project, I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, check it out if you're interested in helping and contributing. I can give you a tour, just get in touch. So there's that. One of the things I wanted to improve is the parser. I wanted to have parsing that doesn't only work when the file is completely valid syntactically. So for example, you want to have completions in your code in your editor. You don't always have a file that is completely valid before you run the completion, right? So you are writing the file and then you want to complete something, but the current file doesn't parse. So currently Playground doesn't support that. It will just not give you any completions until you have a parsing file. And that's not it's not an ideal workflow. So yeah, to have something more incremental, parsing incomplete files, I wanted to use tree-sitter, which is a library that you can use from native code, but Playground is written on the JVM, is running on the JVM, it's written in Scala. So I would need some sort of way to interact with tree-sitter, a native library, which is why I started a library for tree-sitter for Scala, tree-sitter for S. And I wanted to give it a cross-platform interface so that depending on when you run, actually independent of whether you run Scala on the JVM or Scala native or Scala.js, you would get the same interface for talking to the library and for using it. So that has been quite a huge project. It took me probably 2 months because of all the nativeness issues and also my lack of focus and time. But yeah, I have a working prototype that works on all platforms in a consistent way, and I will probably be extending it in the near future. So that's another huge time sink, and it's taking a lot of time whenever I get to that. Something I mentioned before, the job hunt. It took me quite some time to find a job. Maybe not that much, but it wasn't as straightforward as I thought it would be. But finally, yeah, I got a great deal and I'm starting next week. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I think that will not impact my ability to make videos. If anything, there's other things like the previous projects that are impacting that. But yeah, I'm very excited about it and hope to have more ideas when I start doing things, more ideas for videos as well. I recently wrote a blog post that took me some time as well, so clearly not very focused on videos this time. It's about Nix. I also want to do some videos on Nix, but yeah, a blog post seemed easier even though it wasn't. So yeah, check it out. So I think it's a great, well, it's a decent introduction to Nix Flakes and Nix in general. People are saying it is one, so give it a try if you're interested in Nix but you haven't had a chance to try it, or you found the existing documentation confusing. That would be something you can try. Last but not least, I'm preparing for a conference, and it's The Art of Scala. It's happening in like 2 weeks on November 16th in Warsaw, Poland. So if you're in Poland, in Warsaw, and you want to see some Scala talks, that would be probably your fastest way to get that. I think this one will be recorded. It's the second edition, the last one was not. But yeah, this one should be recorded, so I will have a recording of my talk later on. So this is it. This is all I wanted to share. I hope this gives you some interesting ideas. Maybe you want to try Smithy for S, maybe you want to try Smithy Playground, maybe you want to contribute to either of these. I promise I will get back to videos at some point. The channel is not dead. I will still be making some content. I just need to find good topics and good ways to introduce them to you. So when that happens, you'll definitely get some content. So yeah, this is it. Thank you for watching. Tell me if you get interested in any of these. If you start using Smithy for S because of this video, I would love that. You can join the discussions. We don't have a Discord yet, but we will at some point. So it's a great project, especially if you want to contribute. There's plenty of issues that you can solve. And yeah, things like that. Let me know if you decide to try that. And I'll see you in the next video.